This is Louise Green for MMA Crazy, and I'm joined alongside Bellator President Scott Coker. Scott, how are you? You're talking about the weather here in London has been lovely. How are you enjoying your time here?
Yeah, I love London. It's a great city. It's vibrant. A lot of great MMA fans here, and we're always excited to come here and put on a great show.
And of course, you're becoming a regular here in London. Is this something that's going to happen once every year? A big Bellator event here in London.
We were talking about that earlier. I think we could probably come here a couple times a year and throw a big show. But once a year, I'd like to bring out at least a big, massive card like we're doing on June 22nd. Keep in mind that's going to be our tentpole event, like the ones we do in the U.S. Plus, it'll be the Channel 5 European Series all into one. So it's going to be a great night of fights. And you'll see a lot of big athletes, and some of them we haven't even announced yet. So, yeah, the fighters that we announced today are going to be the backbone of the show, but we're going to sprinkle in some great talent.
And Gegard Mousasi, obviously, he was supposed to defend his title back in January, and it got moved to this card. Do you think that was perhaps a blessing in disguise? Of course, not in terms of his injury, but in terms of having him headline this card.
I'll tell you, he likes fighting here. It's like a home game for him, he feels. Yeah, anytime an injury happens, it's unfortunate, but he's not unhappy to be here and fighting in London. So, to me, it just worked out. And Lovato is a guy that, if it goes to the ground, I think Gegard's going to have a lot on his hands. So, I think it's a very serious fight for both of them. And I know they're both taking it very seriously and going to train extremely hard.
And James Gallagher, obviously, he's coming off of that massive win back in Dublin. I mean, how was that? I mean, the crowd was absolutely, phenomenal.
I wasn't there, but I watched it on TV at home, and it was something really special. I will not miss the next one because the crowd is so passionate there, and in America, we just don't have people singing in the stands and getting behind their fighter, and it's just. It's just something different, and it's very special, and so I won't miss the next James show in Dublin.
And he did actually mention that he would be headlining again in September. Is that true? Is that something you can confirm? You know what?
We do have on the books a September date. I don't think we're ready to announce the exact date, but we will be back in Dublin before the end of the year.
Lovely. And Chalmers, he's coming off of, obviously it didn't go his way back in his hometown of Newcastle. We haven't had an opponent for him yet. Will we be hearing anytime soon?
Yeah, that's something we'll probably announce, I want to say maybe at the end of this week or beginning of next week. We're going to have the announcement for his opponent as well as Denise's opponent. So, this presser happened, because we wanted to get everything going and announce the main event and Paul Daley and Gallagher's fight. So we felt comfortable about doing it, but there's going to be some pieces out of this fight card that's going to make it very special.
And talk a little bit about the Channel 5, and obviously you announced the Sky Sports deal. How has that been going? Obviously for UK MMA fans, this is a massive opportunity for them to be able to watch live Bellator events. Can you talk a little bit maybe about the feedback that you've had?
Oh yeah, it's been amazing, and the fans are so appreciative. I mean, I think that if you recall, before we announced this, especially from the media, you're asking me, hey, when are you gonna get it on TV? Why is there so tape delay? Why, And so now it's been reversed. Now I'm like, hey, not did we just deliver? We over-delivered, right? But the purpose, or the reason behind having Channel 5 and bringing it here is, I don't think fans should have to consume all their media or all their MMA at 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning. The Sky Sports series will air all the events, so fans can consume the media, and then also our fights that we do here, the Paramount fights that we air back live in the United States, will air on Sky Sports Live. So it'll be live here at 9 o'clock, the fight on the 22nd for the main event and semi-main event. But the local kid here now has the opportunity to have a pipeline to get to to fight big fights on a national platform, international platform, and don't just have to, you have to kind of struggle to find their way, So the amount of fights that we'll do here is just going to create a lot of opportunity to develop some new stars, and we're going to be out there looking for who is the next big fighter, male or female, and they're here. So I believe that the UK has a tremendous amount of talent, and we just have to keep our eyes open and make sure that we do a good job in scouting and recruiting here as we build the fights here.
And talking about recruiting, obviously not European side, but Josh Barnett has just signed to Bellator. Obviously that came on the 1st of April, so I think some people were a little bit April Fools, but obviously no, it's not. So could you talk a little bit about that signing and what went on behind the scenes in order to get that done? You know,
his manager and I have been talking for about a month now, and listen, I love Josh. I consider him a friend, and you know, he had a tough road with fighting the USADA thing, and he won. I was so happy for him because he proved his innocence, and I felt like, you know, maybe we should start, you know, signing him, promoting him. But I said, you know, we're going through the heavyweight tournament at that time. Let's wait till the tournament's over, and now that the tournament's over, let's bring him in. And that was kind of the consensus of why we waited so long. And he was going through his thing, we were going through the heavyweight tournament, but now the timing's right. And I'll tell you, he's going to be a great addition because he's such an entertaining fighter, entertaining personality, and on any given night, I think he could beat anybody. And he told me, he goes, hey, I'll fight whoever, but I want to fight Ryan Bader because I want to be the champ. So I think you know, the heavyweights are going to take notice, and you know, we're going to have some great fights ahead because whether it's Bader or it's Congo or it's Mitrione or, you know, I mean, we just have a lot of great fights for Josh ahead. And he told me, I mean, he was signing his contract and I was in flight on the way here, and so I didn't see it live, but I watched it after, and it was entertaining, and so I was happy. And then he texted me, he goes, I do like fish and chips, so we'll see. We might work on that.
Okay, so I was going to say, you know, when do you think we would see him in the Bellator cage?
I think soon, in the next 2-3 months. Yeah.
And what kind of opponent have you got in mind? Obviously, you're not going to. Would you put him straight in for a title shot, or would you like to see him maybe face maybe like a top 5?
You know, we've already promised a title shot to the winner of the Czech Congo fight, and so Czech Congo will take he beat the Russian heavyweight. So the former champ. Congo beat so Congo is first in line, so I'm just trying to remember like the series of events, but so Czech Congo will fight Ryan Bader at some point, I want to say in summertime, late summer, and then Josh Barnett can fight the winner. Maybe he might have a fight in between, so he's got to win that fight too. But I think that you know, a couple fighters I could think of, like one would be a fighter like Javier Ayala, who's been on a real good tear. So maybe it might be those two, but we'll see.
And talking about the the European series as well. Obviously, we have one coming up in May in Birmingham. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the locations that are going to be happening and the success with that as well?
Yeah, you know, we kind of let David Green pick the cities that he wants to go to, and he's been doing a great job. So the idea was to have 3 cities in the UK. But we will branch out. We will go to Amsterdam, Stockholm, close proximity, but we'll probably do fights in Italy. But the fights we do in Dublin, eventually will fall into the European Series as part of the European Series as well. So I think we're going to have, like I said, we'll do 6 fights this year, and next year I think we'll do probably 8 to 10, and we're going to grow from there. But we would like to have it like a monthly series, like 12 fights a year, just in the European Series.
And then speaking actually to Paul Daley, of course he's coming off of that loss to MVP, but he wants to get that rematch back eventually. He did kind of mention, you know, if he gets past Eric Silva, his opponent, that he would like to maybe run that back against MVP. Do you think maybe we could see that happening sometime, maybe in London or even Nottingham? He said he would love to you know, Bellator to go to his home in Nottingham.
Well, you know what? Right now, MVP is tied up in the tournament. If he beats, you know, Lima, he's going to fight in September. It could be a whole year-long thing, right? So it's hard to forecast the future, but I believe that those two will fight maybe sometime in 2020, and I think that it'll be a much different fight because of the familiarity that they've already had. They got to dance a little bit already, so and I think that fight should happen here in London. You know, I mean, the first fight we wanted to happen here as well, but we just couldn't find a venue to make it work. But I think the next one we should do it here.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys in June. Thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Scott.